point with Mr. Tim Billions. Tell us how you doing today, sir.
No, I'm doing great, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fan-doggone-tastic. Look here, Mr. Tim, I met you at a seminar that I was at, that you were there, and I was really impressed in your background, your experience, and what you were doing. So I had to contact you so that you could share that experience of being in business, how you got in business with other aspiring entrepreneurs. So at this point, we're going to begin. Cousin, bring up Mr. Billions' doggone Facebook page. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the name of his business is 7 Dime Home Buyers LLC. But what we want you to really understand is the man is serious, and he gonna give you cash for your house in any condition. So don't worry about fixing the roof, about plugging up that hole in the wall. Mr. Billions said, you call, we got the money, and we ready to talk business. Is that right, Mr. Billions?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right. All right. So look at here, y'all. Let's further investigate, and you'll see that he is a realtor, a real estate investor, and a consultant. He has studies in finance and marketing, that he went to Temple in high school, and that he lives in Charleston. So now, let us go on over to his website, where we're going to begin the discussion with 7 Dime Home Buyers LLC. So, Mr. Billions, how did you come up with the name 7 Dime Home Buyers LLC?
Well, as a matter of fact, let me say this too. I definitely appreciate you having me on here, man. Like, I'm just grateful to be on, and let me just say I appreciate you. I got the name. It's actually my birthday. My birthday is July 10th, and 7th month of the year, 10th, 7, 10, 7 dime. So I just wanted to put a creative spin on my birthday, and that's why I named it 7 dime home buyers, of course, because I'm buying the houses and fixing them up and reselling them.
Okay, how did you start this business? What gave you the idea to start this business?
Well, I actually did 8.5 years in prison. Before this, I ran the streets for a long time since I was a young kid, and because of the illegal activities I was participating in, I was sentenced to 10 years in prison for trafficking cocaine and marijuana. So I've always had like an entrepreneurial spirit, a business mind, but it was just doing it illegally. So during my incarceration, I started reading a lot of books, and I got this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Read that. I actually read it straight through and read it the next day again. And the author Robert Kiyosaki is a real estate guy, so he was just pushing real estate real hard in the books. So I started reading all of his books, and then a lot of business books, financial books. Took a college course in finance and marketing, and real estate just kept coming up as you can get into it without having money. They give you a lot of tax benefits. So I said, well, man, let me look into this real estate thing a little bit more. So instead of just studying all finance, I just focused in on real estate and learned this niche called wholesaling. When I came home 4 years ago, I kept on reading books. I started going to seminars, like local seminars that were free or cheap, and I would just go and listen and learn, and they told me the best way to start, and I just got started.
Okay, let's just take a minute here and just examine what the man said. First of all, he said he was an entrepreneur from day one. But the fact of the matter is that the business he was involved in was illegal.
Yes, sir.
He then his dues to society. But now check this out now. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of incarcerated and pumping irons, which he might have done, shooting the shit with the other guys, this man used that time to make his mind ready for the legal entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, those of you out there who know people who have went down a similar road, you could tell them the story of Mr. Tim Billions, how he took his situation and turned it around by not wasting his time. He strengthened and educated his abilities. Now, some of us, we go to school, but we ain't focused, and I can tell you that for 18 years I taught at the techno school in business and logistics, and some of my students were focused because they knew what the hell they wanted to do. Others were there because, well, mom and dad said if you don't go to school, you got to go in the army. Well, I'd rather go in school because I don't want nobody telling me what to do. So I'm here. So, Mr. Goodman, you stand up and you lecture, and I'll take these examinations, and okay. But let's get back to the point of Mr. Billions. Having a desire to continue to be an entrepreneur, but this time to do it legally in the right way, he found where his niche was in business. But Mr. Billions, a couple of years ago, I was listening to Bloomberg. I like listening to Bloomberg. And they were interviewing this gentleman. And you know what he said? He said up in New Jersey, I believe it was, somewhere in the Northeast, they were going to start a program with inmates. And he said that the kind of inmates that they were focusing on was, guess what? Drug dealers. He went on to explain that drug dealers understand the concept of business. They understand that there are customers, that these customers have needs, and that they were willing to pay for a product and service. So Mr. Billion, when you told me that you had the entrepreneur spirit, I already knew that because I had already listened to this doggone broadcast on Bloomberg talking about how they were going to turn the life around of former drug dealers because they already had the entrepreneur spirit in them. They also went on to say that drug dealers know how to hire salespeople, how to manage the inventory. You got to cut it, slice it, then you got to package it, then you got to have oh, man, come on, Mr. Tim. I know you had it in you, brother. When I heard your story, I could relate to what you were saying because I heard. But I'm going to shut up. Go ahead on and tell me, Mr. Billions, what happened next?
No, because like you're saying, it's the truth. Like it's the same thing. It's still business. It just happens that business happens to be illegal. So you still learn the same skills. You still learn how to handle, like you said, handle the inventory, how to handle the money, cash flow, logistics, hiring salespeople, buying more inventory. Like it's the same thing. So when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, or when I started reading these financial books, it just started to click. It started to click to me that definitely go legit for one, because I already had in my mind I wasn't coming back to jail anymore. So when I came home and started with the real estate, it was tough. It was tough. I'm entering into a different business. I'm entering into a legit business. I had never been legit before. I was 34 years old, had never been legit, never had a bank account, never had a job, never seen a application, no diploma, just self-taught in prison. So I came home and I already had learned that the best way to get started was to just look for vacant houses. And I came home and I started doing that. And it was hard. I wanted to quit plenty days, but I stuck at it. And 11 months later, my business finally made some money. And then I made 10 grand after those 11 months. Then in the next 6 months, I made $112,000 using a strategy where I know how to flip houses without using any cash or credit. And I went on to do that in the next 6 months. And then from there, it just wasn't no looking back. I ended up getting a business partner about 6 months after that. And, we went in together and things have just been kind of picking up ever since. So we still in business together. And now I just recently started another business where I'm teaching people how to do it, which I've already been teaching people how to do it about over a year now, but I just, made that into an official business as well, where it's like an online school where I'm teaching people how to invest in real estate, the strategy where you can flip houses with no cash or credit. I'm teaching them how to do that. Or if they're interested in just starting a real estate business in general, I'm showing them how to do that as well.
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, let me just speak for Mr. Tim Billions and Daryl Goodman. We are no way condoling and promoting the use of illegal drug trafficking to learn how to do business. Let's get that straight right now. We are not glorifying it for you to go out there and do that. We are simply educating you that if you want to go in business, go in a legal business. And if you have been incarcerated and you are finding it hard, then do like Mr. Billion did. Start studying, reading books, going to seminars, so you can learn the right way to be an entrepreneur. Now, we just want to make that clear, because we don't want you thinking we telling you need to go out there and do this and that before. Hell no, that's not what we're saying. We're trying to make the point that you can be legal without going to jail, but you do need to learn what it is you need to know in order to operate a business. And that's what Mr. Billions did. So now, Mr. Billion, what are 2 points that you learned while you were studying before you launched your business? What was 2 key points?
Before I launched the business?
Right. As you were studying.
Okay. Well, that's the main point I learned, that studying is the main thing. Like I don't jump in any business before I study it. And I don't mean like I gotta study for months or years. I mean I'm gonna research it and I'm gonna pay a coach or some type of guide to help me into that business. Because you gotta think, anytime you're in business, you're dealing with, transactions, and it could be into the thousands or hundreds of thousands, especially if you're dealing with real estate. So why would you try to enter into anything like that serious without some type of guidance? So that's number one, is get that guidance, study and learn. And the second thing I would say is to respect the journey. Like a lot of people get started in business and they get so caught up on the money. I want to be a millionaire, or I want to make this such and such amount, or I want to, like they keep looking at the end goal, that you fail to pay attention to the journey along the way. So that's probably the second biggest thing I learned, was make sure you stay focused on the journey. Don't lose sight of the journey. Don't just be focusing on the money aspect. but make sure you're growing, you're stretching, you're learning, you're networking, and you staying focused on the journey, because it's going to be tough.
All right, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot more that we could talk about, but Mr. Billion has something else he needs to get done. So I promised him that I wouldn't hold him past 15 minutes. But there's a lot more that we can talk about, and I'm hoping that I can get him to come back again. So, Mr. Billion, when we come back, I want to talk about your class, you know, the business that you got, you and your partner, of educating people and stuff like that. Because a couple of the people who was also at that program where I met you talked about being a student of yours and how it had benefited them. So I want to go into that, and I want to go into a few other things about their real estate investment. Go back to your website. You've got some points, but I need to let you go. So before we go, Mr. Billion, tell us how we can contact you.
All right. Definitely, if you want to learn how to get into the business, or just about real estate investing, period, I do teach a strategy called wholesaling, where you can actually flip houses without using cash or credit. It does take some work as far as finding vacant houses, but you can flip them without using no money at all. So if you're interested in learning, or just interested in reaching out to me, I'm on Facebook, Tim Billions on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, Tim Billions. The only difference on Instagram is spelled with a Z at the end of Billions. It's a Z instead of the S. But you can reach me on either one of them at any time. You can check out my website. I just started for the online school. It's called Billionaire Minds Academy. Since I go by Tim Billions, I named the school Billionaire Minds Academy, and it's because even though I'm based, like, my niche is real estate, that's what I teach. I'm teaching my students more than just real estate. Like, I'm teaching them how to be like thinkers and how to evolve as people. Like, we have a book of the month club, because I still read about 40 to 50 books a year every year. So I definitely what's the word I'm looking for? Advocate reading as much as possible. So we have a book of the month. I post audios in there, things that they can just learn other than real estate, like inspirational things and other financial things, that we can just learn and grow and just start thinking like the wealthy. We can't continue to want to be wealthy with broke people habits. So I'm just teaching the people in my group how to grow, how to learn, how to stretch, how to become better people, thinkers, and just go out here and make a change in the world. But you can definitely check that out, Billionaire Minds Academy. Tim Billions on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I'm on LinkedIn. My real name, Desmond Milligan, because Tim Billions is just the name I use for social media, but you can catch me, Desmond Milligan, my real name, on LinkedIn as well.
All right, give us that phone number where we can contact you, or whatever means which you've given us the websites and stuff. But how else can we contact you?
Well, the number is 84. It's on the website as well, but it's 843-244-0299. And just reach out and just let me know. We can, whether I'm teaching you, whether we working together, going in business together. I'm all with it. Even though my thing is real estate, I love networking with other business owners, no matter what industry you in. So reach out, let's have a conversation, let's work together.
All right, Mr. Tim. Look here, brother. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you giving the audience this valuable information. And like I always say at the beginning, we only talk to people who know what the hell they're talking about. Because if they don't, I ain't wasting my time, I ain't wasting their time, and I ain't wasting the audience time. So I've kept you about 5 minutes more than I said I was. So I'm going to let you go, brother. But you have a great day, and thank you very much. And cousin, take us out of here.